Well, friends, the last week has been nuts. Absolutely nuts. And today has been not quite the most nuts because that was yesterday. Yesterday was possibly one of the most important days of my life so far in terms of coming to terms with my identity. Today has been the aftermath, which has been nothing but positive because of the methods that I chose to go about to identify part of my identity. And today has been all about finding people to share experiences with, finding people who have shared experiences with me, and asking each other questions, learning about each other, unexpected connections. That's what today has been. You know, when you get to this place where you're like, okay, so I'm just going to make this one decision and then see where it goes before I decide to take another 3 or 4 steps towards progress in a direction. Just when it's something scary, you're like, okay, so I'm just going to dip a toe in. Well, I dipped a toe in and then decided to put my whole foot in, and then because I put my whole foot in, I just kept going, and now I'm just standing in the water and there's no going back. There's literally no going back, and it's fine. Also, it's fine. I'm saying that and it may sound like I'm freaking out, and yeah, I am a little bit freaking out, but I'm also not. It's funny. So I was texting a friend about this, and I was talking about how I'm both terrified and also filled with an assurance that it's going to work the way it needs to work. And I think that best sums up this whole situation is some things could go very, very wrong. And they haven't yet, and I'm kind of still waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it hasn't yet. I know it's only been a day, but it still could happen soon. And so I'm waiting, but I'm also just filled with so much gratitude for the boldness that I'm finding because I decided to trust Jesus to just let me take one step. I'm suddenly just walking forward, and I don't know how to describe it besides that. I'm just walking ahead, and constantly throughout this whole day have been asking myself, okay, so what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? And there's a part of me that thinks I just need to slow down and process, because there's trauma, and then there's trauma that comes from facing too much at once. It's a less intense, less damaging version of trauma, but it certainly can happen in a circumstance like this because I'm processing so much at once. But on the other hand, there's a part of when you let some type of fact about yourself or some type of belief system or some kind of personality trait come to the forefront. Anything along those lines, I think in this specific circumstance, it has more to do with a fact about myself, but it wouldn't have to be. I think the same thing would apply to something far less significant. The very idea of if you let the momentum and the adrenaline coming from sharing something, if you let that drive you, suddenly you find yourself miles ahead of where you plan to be. And that is me today. I am miles ahead of where I plan to be. I've spent the whole day either talking to a friend who I had not really connected with at all since high school about shared experiences, or spending time like processing things with Natalie in the car, or even just like texting a friend or emailing my pastor, which, like, holy cow. Things are... Talk about momentum. Soon I will just speak to what's going on. But I think for now, unless you have the context from other parts of knowing me, I don't think I'm putting that here, because I'm not ready to do that. Which is funny because I'm talking about momentum and then I'm saying I'm not ready to do this. I do have some discernment. I just have not been practicing it as much as I usually do. So that's where we're at with that. And I am so excited. Terrified, but I'm so excited. Holy cow. Oh, if I take many more steps, I'll just start running. And then I'll have to talk on here about what I'm talking about there. And what's going to happen then? Who knows? If anyone watches this and doesn't have any context for what's going on, I'm so sorry. And if you are one of the few people that watches this who does have context, I may seem a little bit like happy drunk right now. That might be a thing. In fact, it probably is a thing. It might also have to do with having to pee. And I've been putting it off because I have words to say here. This feels familiar. I feel like I did this one other time. Oh, my life could come crashing down at any moment. And also it could just move on from here. And I don't know which one it's going to be. And that is the exhilaratingly terrifying element of all of this. I'm going crazy. Okay. Peace out. Also, it's all good. I feel good. I'm okay. In case you're starting to wonder, I'm okay.